You are being shaped where no one is watching, and that truth presses against your patience. You want movement. You want signs. You want to know that this quiet, almost invisible season is not a mistake. But shaping never happens on a stage. It happens in rooms where no one is clapping, in moments where quitting would be easier than staying faithful. Your days may look ordinary on the outside. You wake up, go to work, sit in traffic, answer messages, complete tasks that feel repetitive. Maybe your job does not reflect your potential. You know you carry more skill, more vision, more depth than what you are currently allowed to express. Yet you are still expected to show up with excellence. This is not punishment. This is training. God is watching how you steward small responsibilities before entrusting you with larger ones. At home, the shaping continues. Finances require discipline. You budget carefully. You delay gratification. You resist impulsive decisions others make freely. You are learning restraint. You are learning wisdom. These lessons feel slow, but they are forming stability inside you. Later, when abundance comes, you will not panic, boast, or waste it. You will know how to carry it without losing yourself. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 105, verse 19. Until the time came to fulfill his dreams. The Lord tested Joseph's character. Joseph's story is not about instant elevation. It is about preparation through obscurity. He was gifted, yet hidden, favored, yet confined. Every season that looked like delay was actually refinement. The same principle applies to you. Character is being tested not to disqualify you, but to strengthen you. In your relationships, you may notice a shift. Some people no longer resonate with you. Conversations feel shallow. Certain friendships fade quietly. This can feel like loss, but it is alignment. God is shaping your emotional maturity. You are learning not to chase validation, not to beg for understanding, not to over-explain your purpose. Silence is teaching you discernment. Here is a real-life moment you recognize. You speak up with honesty at work or in your family, and it is misunderstood. You choose integrity anyway. No applause follows. But inside, something solidifies. You learn that your values are not negotiable. That inner firmness will one day protect you when pressure is higher and stakes are greater. This season also exposes your inner dialogue. When things are quiet, thoughts grow louder. Doubt tries to convince you that nothing is happening. Comparison whispers that others are ahead. But shaping requires resisting those lies. You are not being overlooked. You are being prepared privately so you can stand publicly without collapsing. Hope in this season is not loud. It is steady. It looks like consistency when motivation fades. It looks like faithfulness when emotions fluctuate. It looks like choosing patience over panic. That kind of hope anchors you. It gives you endurance, not just excitement. Ask yourself honestly if progress remains unseen for a while longer. Will you still trust the process? God often conceals his most important work. What is fragile needs quiet to grow strong. What is valuable is protected until it can withstand exposure. You are not hidden because you are insignificant. You are hidden because your future assignment carries weight. Think of a craftsman shaping something rare. He works carefully, slowly, away from distractions. Every strike is intentional. Every pause matters. Rushing would ruin the piece. You are being handled with that same precision. There will come a moment when others suddenly notice you. They will say you came out of nowhere. They will call it luck or timing. They will not see the unseen discipline, the private obedience, the nights you chose faith over frustration. but you will know, and God will know. Before we move on, if this message speaks to your current season, support the channel by liking, sharing, leaving a thoughtful comment, and subscribing. Your engagement helps this word reach those who are still doubting the quiet process. Hold on to this image, you standing confident, grounded, unshaken, because you allowed yourself to be shaped without rushing the reveal. This season is not empty, it is intentional. Stay present, stay faithful. And as a declaration that you trust the unseen work, comment the number 444 below. Even when nothing around you changes, something within you already has. Your patience is deeper, your discernment sharper, your spirit steadier. This is evidence of growth. Quiet strength is forming, and it will soon speak louder than noise ever could. Stay aligned, stay grounded. The unseen season is temporary, but what it produces will last. When the door finally opens, you will walk through prepared. Not desperate, ready to carry what you once prayed for without losing who you are. There are seasons when God deliberately reduces the crowd around you. And accepting this truth is not easy because it touches your need for connection, affirmation, and shared momentum. You may notice fewer messages on your phone. Invitations slow down. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel forced or distant. This is not accidental. This is not punishment. This is a season of refinement where distraction is minimized so clarity can increase. In everyday life, this reduction often shows up subtly. At work, you may find yourself excluded from casual conversations or office dynamics that once made you feel included. Projects you thought you would be part of move forward without you. Instead of fighting this, the practical step is to redirect your energy inward. Use the quieter space to sharpen your skills. Organize your responsibilities and observe more than you speak. Reduced visibility can become a laboratory for growth if you allow it. In family life, the crowd reduction can feel heavier. You might realize that not everyone understands your decisions anymore. When you choose healthier boundaries, spend less impulsively, or say no to gatherings that drain you, reactions change. Some relatives may label you distant or different. The practical guidance here is to accept misunderstanding without trying to correct it immediately. Not every season requires explanation. Sometimes silence preserves peace and allows God to work without interference. Scripture speaks clearly about this pattern, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 14. Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the road that leads to life, and few find it. Few does not mean lonely forever, it means focused for a season. Financially, crowd reduction may look like you stepping back from lifestyles others around you maintain. You decline trips, delay purchases, and stop chasing appearances. Friends may move on without you. The practical instruction here is discipline. Track your spending, create margins, learn contentment. This season teaches you how to live from conviction rather than comparison. Later, this wisdom becomes freedom. Emotionally, this season invites honesty. When fewer people are around, you are forced to face yourself. Old habits surface, insecurities become louder. Instead of numbing them with noise, you are invited to sit with them. A practical exercise is journaling your reactions when you feel excluded or overlooked. Write down what that feeling reveals about your expectations. Awareness is the first step toward healing. Spiritually, the reduced crowd sharpens your hearing. When voices quiet down, God's direction becomes clearer. Practically, this means creating intentional moments of stillness. Turn off background noise. Take short walks without your phone. Sit with unanswered questions without rushing to conclusions. Guidance often arrives when you stop demanding it and start listening. Here is a common situation: you stop participating in gossip or unhealthy conversations at work. Slowly, fewer colleagues approach you. Lunch breaks become quieter. Instead of feeling rejected, you learn to use that time to reset mentally. You read, you reflect, you prepare. What feels like isolation becomes insulation. This season also teaches you to release people without resentment. Some relationships were assigned for earlier chapters of your life. When their role ends, forcing continuation only creates friction. The practical response is gratitude without attachment. Thank God for what was, and trust Him for what will be. You may feel tempted to rebuild the crowd quickly, to replace what was lost just to feel normal again. Resist that urge. Premature connections can delay maturity. Ask yourself regularly, does this relationship add clarity or confusion? Peace or pressure, growth or distraction? Hope in this season is quiet but solid. It looks like waking up without anxiety about approval. It looks like confidence that no longer depends on agreement. It looks like knowing that fewer voices do not mean less value. They often mean greater direction. Ask yourself this honestly: are you willing to walk a narrower path if it leads to a stronger, more aligned version of yourself? God reduces crowds not to isolate you permanently, but to refine you intentionally. This season will not last forever. But what it builds: discernment, stability. Self-awareness will stay with you long after the crowd returns in a healthier form. You are learning to stand without leaning, to choose without approval, to move without validation. These are not losses. They are upgrades. And when the right people re-enter your life, they will recognize the strength that was formed when no one else was around. This quieter path is not a sign of failure, but of focus. As distractions fall away, your vision sharpens, your priorities align, and your steps grow steadier with each intentional decision you make. Trust that the right connections will return in the right season. When they do, they will meet a version of you that is grounded, discerning, and no longer afraid of walking alone. Pressure is not an accident in your life. It is a signal. When things begin to feel heavier, tighter, more demanding, it does not automatically mean you are doing something wrong. Often, it means you are being trusted with more depth. Pressure is the environment where surface-level identity is stripped away and true calling begins to show itself. In everyday work life, pressure looks like responsibility without clear instructions. You are expected to figure things out instead of being guided step by step. Mistakes feel more costly. Silence from supervisors feels louder than criticism. In this space, many people panic or overperform, but the practical instruction here is steadiness. Prioritize, clarify expectations. Ask thoughtful questions instead of reacting emotionally. Pressure rewards maturity, not urgency. Financial pressure has its own language. When expenses rise or income feels uncertain, anxiety tries to take control. You might feel tempted to make fast decisions just to escape discomfort, but pressure is revealing how you relate to security. The practical step is structure. Write things down. Face the numbers honestly. Cut what drains you. Pressure here is shaping discipline, not punishing you. Later, this discipline becomes peace. In family and close relationships, pressure often exposes communication patterns. Small misunderstandings escalate quickly. Old issues resurface. You feel misunderstood or unappreciated. The instruction in these moments is restraint. Speak slower, listen longer. Choose responses over reactions. Pressure teaches you how to stay grounded when emotions rise. This is emotional leadership, and it cannot be learned without friction. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 5, verse 3 and 4. Speak directly to this process. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. Pressure is not the end of the story. It is the sequence that leads to hope. Pressure reveals your coping mechanisms. When things tighten, do you withdraw completely, or do you overextend yourself trying to control everything? Awareness here is crucial. A practical exercise is noticing your first impulse under stress. That impulse shows where growth is needed. Calling is often hidden behind what pressure exposes. Here is a situation that feels familiar. You are given a task at work that stretches your competence. You feel exposed. You worry about failing publicly. Instead of avoiding it, you prepare quietly. You research. You ask for insight from trusted sources. The task does not go perfectly, but you grow. Pressure did not destroy you. It expanded you. Spiritually, pressure reduces noise. When comfort fades, priorities become clear. You stop chasing everything. You focus on what matters. This narrowing is intentional. Pressure removes excess so purpose can surface. There will be moments when pressure makes you question your worth. You may interpret difficulty as rejection, but pressure is not rejection, it is selection. Not everyone is led into seasons that require endurance. Some paths are lighter because they are narrower in impact. Yours is heavier because it carries more responsibility. Ask yourself honestly when pressure increases, do you try to escape it, or do you ask what it is shaping in you? Pressure also teaches timing. You learn when to act and when to wait. You learn that not every problem requires an immediate response. Some situations resolve themselves when you remain steady. This discernment is rare, and it is forged under weight. Emotionally, pressure builds internal stability. You stop relying on constant reassurance. You learn to self-regulate. You learn that confidence does not always feel bold. Sometimes it feels calm, quiet, and unshakable. Now, this is where I want you to engage briefly. I want you to comment a short phrase, no more than 3 words. Type "pressure shapes me." By writing this, you are naming the season correctly. You are choosing to see pressure not as an enemy, but as a tool that forms endurance, clarity, and strength over time. Pressure will not last forever, but the version of you it produces will. When this season lifts, you will notice something subtle but powerful. Situations that once overwhelmed you no longer do. You stand differently. You think more clearly. You respond instead of react. This is how calling emerges, not through comfort, but through capacity. Pressure is not here to break you. It is here to prove you. When you write "pressure shapes me," you are making a conscious reframe. You are deciding that difficulty is not a verdict on your value, but a workshop for your growth. That statement trains your mind to stay curious instead of fearful, steady instead of reactive, focused instead of overwhelmed by weight. Each time pressure rises and you remember those words, you interrupt old patterns. You pause before responding. You choose wisdom over impulse. Over time, that small declaration becomes a habit of resilience, reminding you that what feels heavy today is forming strength you will rely on tomorrow. There is a truth most people never fully grasp. Heaven pays close attention to what you do when no one else is watching. Not your performance, not your image, but your private obedience, the quiet decisions, The unseen battles that shape your inner structure long before your outer life ever changes. You already live inside this reality. It appears when you choose honesty at work, even though cutting corners would save time and earn approval. No one would notice if you compromised just a little. No one would question it. Yet something in you refuses it. That resistance is not fear, it is alignment. Heaven is watching how you handle integrity before trusting you with influence. In daily life, these private battles are rarely dramatic. They happen in silence. You pause before sending a message that could escalate conflict. You choose rest over proving your worth through exhaustion. You turn away from habits that soothe you temporarily but erode you slowly. None of this is seen. Yet all of it is recorded in who you are becoming. In finances, private obedience looks like truth. You stop pretending. You face the numbers honestly. You don't inflate stability for appearance. You don't hide from responsibility. You make small and consistent decisions that bring order instead of chaos. This discipline forms reliability, and reliability is something heaven entrusts with increase. In family life, obedience in secret may look like forgiveness that no one applauds. You release resentment without receiving an apology. You stop rehearsing old arguments even though you were right. You choose peace internally even when nothing changes externally. This is not weakness. This is strength refined where no one can see it. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 3, "The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good." This is not surveillance meant to intimidate. It is attention meant to affirm. You are never invisible in the moments that shape you most. There is a unique loneliness that comes with private obedience. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone in your values. You realize that fewer people understand why you choose restraint, patience, and honesty. That loneliness tempts you to compromise just to feel connected again. But every time you remain aligned, something inside you stabilizes. Picture this situation clearly. You are offered an opportunity that promises quick advancement but violates your conscience. Saying yes would open doors fast. Saying no costs you comfort and time. You hesitate. You choose alignment. Nothing immediately rewards you. Yet months later, you see how that decision protected you from consequences you never saw coming. Heaven witnessed that moment. Private obedience also sharpens discernment. You learn when silence is wiser than explanation, when waiting is stronger than forcing, when obedience matters more than being understood. This discernment becomes your compass when visibility increases and pressure intensifies. Some battles are not about resisting something wrong, but continuing something right without encouragement. Showing up consistently, remaining faithful when progress feels slow. This endurance cannot be borrowed or taught. It is built quietly, repetition by repetition. Ask yourself directly, who are you when no one is validating your choices? Promotion is not based on noise. It is based on alignment, not on how impressive you appear, but on how consistent you remain. Obedience in private lays a foundation that public success cannot shake. There will come a time when people feel your steadiness before they understand your story. They will sense your calm, your clarity, your grounded presence. Few will realize it was forged in silence, through years of unseen obedience and uncelebrated choices. Hope lives here too, not loud hope, anchored hope, the kind that knows nothing done with integrity is ever wasted, that every quiet decision leaves a mark, that heaven keeps record even when history does not. And somewhere along this path, something gentle unfolds. You realize connection does not always come from crowds. Sometimes it comes from resonance, from those who recognize the sound of truth in you and choose to walk alongside it. When that happens, it feels effortless, like a door opening without force. If this message has felt like a quiet companion walking beside you, consider leaving a small trace on the path. A gentle like is like placing a stone along the road, marking that this moment mattered. Sharing it is like lighting another candle from your own, no flame diminished, only more light spreading quietly. And choosing to subscribe is not obligation, but a decision to keep walking the same narrow road together, trusting that the next message will meet you exactly where you are. Let it be resonance, not pressure. Stay faithful in private. Heaven is closer than you think. There is a story in Scripture that speaks directly to delayed prayers, quiet faith, and hope that refuses to die even when time seems to argue otherwise. It is the story of Zechariah and Elizabeth. They were righteous, faithful, disciplined in their devotion. Yet for years, one prayer remained unanswered. They prayed for a child, and the silence stretched so long that expectation slowly turned into acceptance of disappointment. Elizabeth lived with the quiet ache of unfulfilled longing. In her culture, barrenness was not only painful but public. It carried misunderstanding, judgment, and shame she did not deserve. Zechariah, a priest, continued serving God faithfully while carrying a private sorrow. Their lives looked obedient on the outside, but inside, they were learning how to live without what they once asked for daily. Then one ordinary day, while Zechariah was simply doing his duty burning incense, not praying for the impossible anymore, heaven interrupted him. Not during a breakthrough moment, not during emotional desperation, but during routine obedience. The prayer they had stopped expecting was suddenly remembered by God. The Spirit spoke through the words recorded in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 1, verse 13. Do not be afraid, Zechariah, your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you are to call him John. Notice something powerful here. The answer arrived long after they had adjusted to life without it. God did not forget. He delayed with intention. What was coming was not just a child, it was a forerunner, a destiny carrier, a voice preparing the way. The delay was not denial. It was alignment with timing bigger than personal desire. This story mirrors your life more than you realize. You prayed, you waited, you adjusted. You stopped asking not because you stopped believing in God, but because you learned how to survive without disappointment crushing you. You told yourself you were fine. You focused on responsibility. You built a life around the absence. In everyday life, this looks like applying for opportunities that never came through, like hoping for reconciliation that never happened, like asking for stability, clarity, or breakthrough that seemed to pass others by. Eventually, you stopped bringing it up. You assumed the answer was no. But delayed answers are not erased prayers. In work life, you may have prayed for advancement, only to watch others move ahead. You learned competence without recognition. You grew patient without reward. That waiting built depth. When promotion comes later, it will not inflate your ego. It will rest on maturity. In finances, you may have prayed for relief, only to experience slow provision instead of sudden rescue. You learned discipline. You learned restraint. You learned gratitude for small increases. When abundance comes, it will not control you because waiting taught you stewardship. In family or relationships, you may have prayed for restoration or companionship. Time passed. You healed. You adapted. Yet God never stopped listening. Some prayers are answered when hearts are ready, not when they are desperate. Zechariah struggled to believe the answer when it finally came. delay had shaped his expectations. This is human. Long waits change how we hear hope. But God's response was not anger. It was fulfillment. Even when faith wavered, promise remained intact. Ask yourself honestly, what prayer did you quietly place on the shelf because waiting became too heavy? Here is the hope woven into this story. Elizabeth conceived not in her youth, but in wisdom. Her joy was deeper. Her gratitude was richer. The delay protected her from raising destiny before she was ready to carry it. God does not rush what He intends to last. Your timeline has not disqualified you. Your age, your past decisions, your seasons of silence, none of these cancel divine intention. Heaven works with precision, not haste. There is something sacred about prayers answered late. They arrive when you no longer rely on them to define your worth. They meet you when your identity is stable. They bless you without replacing God in your life. This season is asking you to reinterpret delay, not as punishment, but as preparation, not as absence, but as orchestration. Some things must arrive when you are strong enough to receive them without fear. Let this question settle deeply if the answer comes later than you expected. Will you still recognize it as grace? Now, at this moment, I want you to participate in a quiet but meaningful way. Comment the number 111 below. This number represents alignment and remembrance. By typing it, you are acknowledging that no sincere prayer is forgotten, even when the answer arrives later than planned. It is not superstition. It is a marker of trust, a way of saying, I still believe timing is working for me, not against me. The story of Zechariah and Elizabeth reminds you of this truth. Heaven's delays are never careless. They are careful. And what arrives after waiting often carries more purpose than what arrives quickly. Stay open. Stay faithful. Your prayer may already be on its way, arriving exactly when it can change everything without breaking you. There comes a point in the quiet journey where silence itself begins to speak. Not loudly, not dramatically, but with a steady certainty that settles into your bones. This is the season where you realize you have been marked even though no announcement was made. No spotlight turned toward you, no visible confirmation arrived when you expected it. Being marked does not feel special at first. It feels confusing. You notice that your sensitivity is different. You pick up on undercurrents others ignore. Certain environments drain you faster. Certain conversations feel heavier. You can no longer tolerate what once felt normal. This is not you becoming difficult. This is awareness sharpening. Marking often comes with refinement, not recognition. In daily work life, this marking shows up as a growing intolerance for shallow success. You still perform well, but something in you resists empty ambition. You want your work to mean something, to align with your values, to contribute beyond metrics. You may even feel restless in roles that once satisfied you. This restlessness is not impatience. It is discernment awakening. Financially, being marked often produces restraint. You could stretch yourself to match others, but you don't. You sense that excess would cost you peace. You prioritize stability over image, long-term over immediate gratification. This does not make you less capable. It makes you prepared. You are learning how to carry provision without letting it define you. In relationships, marking brings clarity. You notice who respects your boundaries and who resists them. You sense when connection is mutual and when it is transactional. Some people slowly drift away not because of conflict, but because alignment has shifted. This can feel painful, but it is also protective. Marking often separates before it gathers. The ancient words recorded in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, speak quietly but powerfully into this season. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Set apart does not mean elevated early. It means designated with intention. Silence is often the environment where marking deepens. Without external validation, you are forced to anchor internally. You stop performing for approval. You begin listening for alignment. This internal grounding changes how you move. You become less reactive, more deliberate, more aware of timing. There is a very practical moment many people experience here. You are offered an opportunity that looks good externally, but something in you hesitates, not fear discernment. You decline, even though it would have boosted your image. Later, you realize it would have compromised your peace. That quiet no was evidence of marking. Being marked does not mean you always feel strong. Some days you feel tired, others uncertain. But underneath those fluctuations, there is a steady sense of direction. You may not know the full destination, but you know when something is not for you. That clarity is not learned, it is formed. This season also exposes how little noise you actually need. You find comfort in solitude. You appreciate stillness. You become selective with input. This is not withdrawal. It is conservation. Marked people learn how to protect their energy before it is demanded of them. Ask yourself this question honestly: what have you outgrown that you keep trying to fit back into? Being marked often means being misunderstood. People may project assumptions onto you. They may interpret your restraint as distance, your quiet as disinterest, your boundaries as arrogance. You resist the urge to correct every misunderstanding. You learn that clarity does not always require explanation. Sometimes it requires patience. There is also hope here, very real, very grounded hope, because being marked means you are not wandering aimlessly. Even in silence, direction exists. Even without affirmation, purpose remains intact. Even when the path feels narrow, it is intentional. You may not see immediate results, but you will notice internal consistency. Your decisions align, your values stabilize, your reactions soften. These are signs of maturity forming beneath the surface. Marked people are not rushed, they are paced. Their timing is intentional because what they carry requires readiness, both internal and external. Silence is not stalling you, it is strengthening you. One day, the silence will lift, not all at once, not dramatically but gradually, as doors open that fit you without force. When that happens, you will recognize them not by excitement alone, but by peace. Until then, trust the marking. It is not random, it is not wasted, and it is not invisible to heaven. You are not waiting to become someone. You are learning how to remain who you already are, steady, aligned, and quietly prepared for what comes next. What feels like stillness right now is actually consolidation. Your values, discernment, and inner direction are settling into place. When movement resumes, you will step forward without hesitation, because nothing inside you will be competing for attention anymore. There is a moment quiet, almost imperceptible, when concealment begins to loosen its grip. Not with noise, not with announcement, but with a subtle shift inside you. You sense it before you see it. The season of being shaped where no one was watching is not erased. It is completed. And completion does not rush. It reveals itself gently. You have changed. That is the first sign. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You no longer chase recognition to confirm your worth. What once triggered insecurity now meets calm. What once felt urgent now feels timed. You move slower, but with more accuracy. This is emergence, not sudden visibility, but readiness. In everyday life, this emergence looks surprisingly normal. You still wake up, go to work, handle responsibilities, but internally. Something is different. You trust yourself more. You hesitate less when something feels misaligned. You say yes with clarity and no without guilt. The world around you may not notice immediately, but you do. And that is enough. In your work, you may notice opportunities beginning to meet you without force. Conversations open naturally. Doors unlock without manipulation. You are invited into spaces not because you pushed, but because your presence carries weight. This is not favor for display, it is trust earned in silence. Financially, emergence often begins as steadiness before expansion. You are no longer anxious about provision. You plan calmly, you decide wisely, you stop stretching yourself to impress. You allow growth to be gradual. This stability is not dull, it is powerful. It allows you to receive without fear when increase arrives. In relationships, emergence shows up as resonance. The right people feel familiar, not draining. Conversations feel mutual, not performative. You are no longer trying to be understood by everyone. You are content being known by a few. This is not isolation. It is alignment. The ancient words recorded in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 11. Speak softly into this moment. He has made everything beautiful in its time, not rushed, not delayed, timed. You may still carry memories of waiting, of uncertainty, of moments when you wondered if anything was happening at all. Those memories do not weaken you. They steady you. They remind you that you survived seasons that required patience without bitterness, faith without evidence. Emergence also carries responsibility. You do not abandon humility when doors open. You protect what shaped you. You remain grounded. You keep listening. You remember that stillness is not something you leave behind, it is something you carry with you. Ask yourself this final question: if the path opens fully now, can you walk it without losing the quiet strength that formed you? This is where beauty completes the journey. Because emergence is not about becoming louder. It is about becoming truer. You bring the silence with you. You bring the discernment. You bring the depth. And because of that, your presence feels different, not demanding attention, simply undeniable. And along this road forward, something sacred happens. You realize that journeys are not meant to be walked alone, but neither are they meant to be crowded. Some paths are best shared with those who recognize the terrain, with those who understand silence, timing, and faith formed off stage. If this message has walked with you like a quiet companion at the end of a long road, let your response be just as gentle. A like is like leaving your footprint in the dust, proof that someone passed this way and understood. Sharing it is like passing a lantern forward, trusting its light will find another traveler in the dark. Writing a comment is like whispering, "I was here, and I felt this." And subscribing is not a pledge, but a choice to sit by the same fire a little longer, believing the next story will arrive exactly when it is needed. Nothing forced, nothing rushed, only what feels true. Nothing here needs to be proven, nothing needs to be hurried. Emergence honors what shaped you by not discarding it. You are not stepping into noise, you are stepping into alignment. And alignment, when it finally meets timing, has a way of changing everything quietly, beautifully, and without regret. You will notice that what once intimidated you now feels manageable. Challenges no longer shake your identity because you are anchored deeper than outcomes. This is the quiet reward of obedience and patience, confidence that does not shout, strength that does not need to announce itself to be real. Carry this awareness forward. Let it shape how you move, choose, and respond. When life accelerates again, return to this stillness inside you. It will remind you who you are. why you waited, and how everything unfolded exactly as it was meant to. You do not need to decide anything right now. You have already received what was meant for you in this moment. Some messages are not meant to be acted on immediately. They are meant to settle, to echo quietly, to surface again when life places you at a familiar crossroads. If this journey spoke to you, if even one line stayed with you longer than the rest, let it walk with you for a while. Carry it into your ordinary moments, into the way you pause before responding, into the way you choose patience over urgency, truth over appearance, alignment over approval. Meaning does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it returns days later, disguised as clarity. And if you sense that this message could serve someone else, someone standing where you once stood, you are free to pass it along. Not as an obligation, not as a duty, but as one traveler quietly offering direction to another, trusting that what resonates will find its home. But if sharing is not what feels right, that is okay too. You are not required to do anything with this except keep what touched you. Even one sentence can become a companion. Even one realization can shift a season. Growth does not need witnesses to be real. You are allowed to take only what nourishes you and leave the rest behind. This path has never been about proving anything. It has been about becoming slowly, honestly, quietly. And becoming does not end here. It continues in ways you cannot yet predict, unfolding through choices that feel small now but will one day make sense together. So let this ending remain open. If it helped, let it move through you into the world. If it didn't, let it rest and fade without guilt. Either way, trust this: nothing that truly aligns with you is ever wasted. It always finds a way to stay,